I know this is ostensibly a family film, but in many ways it's a film about the exploration of the power of cinema, and certainly in the case of the lost legacy of seminal artist Georges Méliès, it's about the very birth of cinema.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know for you whether there was a sense of, well, this is a little bit of pressure because this is the man in the middle of this love letter to cinema itself.
Yeah, a great privilege, because I was playing a great director under the gaze of a great director, but also under the loving guidance of a great director. So Marty has a very skillful way of taking the pressure off, which is particularly good in 3D, because what you don't want is to see the wheels turning in the actor's mind. You want to see behavior, natural, living, wonderful behavior, which I think is why the scenes in the station and the cafes and life is so detailed and rich and a bit eccentric in his lens. Wonderful to work with Marty on this. Perfect film for him.
Méliès made over 500 films, and the most famous being 1902's A Trip to the Moon, the 16-minute short. And over his lifetime, though, after the Second World War, people believed he'd passed away, and a broken...
It was the First World War, actually.
Oh, First World War, of course, yes. And a bitter, kind of broken... Méliès ended up running a toy store in a Paris train station.
True.
It must have been quite heartbreaking as you researched the man, as you realised, there was a happy ending, as often happens in movies, thankfully for him as well. But those years must have been so incredibly heartbreaking.
That for me was quite tough. Changing his body language and his appearance and having all that wonderful confident flourish that he had on screen as a director and an actor and a writer, to be robbed of all that and to be in this exile, in this toy shop, in a railway station, was very, very difficult, uncomfortable for me, to put it mildly. But then I realized, I had to enjoy it. I did enjoy it, in a sense, once Asa was on the set, because I realized, no, Ben, you've got to be like this for him. He's got to have something to rescue. If there's nothing to rescue, where's his heroism? Where's his great journey? So I had to enter into that. But what helped me enter into that zone was, of course, playing him at the peak of his powers, with his studio and his star and his actors and costumes and sets and all those glorious years that he had as well.
Yeah, you've had quite a few lives in many ways. I know early on in the 60s you're a budding pop star. You had your musical and smashing day, and Lennon and Ringo told you should be a musician. And
it's true.
And very shortly afterwards you joined the Royal Shakespeare Company, and fame arrived with Gandhi when you were 39. And you've made wonderful films: Schindler's List, Sexy Beast, The Whackness. But I was surprised when I last spoke to you that even after Gandhi, you were in India and you didn't feel particularly content, particularly happy. And a blind Indian clairvoyant or fortune teller said that you won't be happy until you're 60.
That's right.
And you reckon,
a wonderful memory.
You reckon he was right, which is pretty bizarre.
I do. It was almost to the day, because when I was with this blind clairvoyant, who actually sang to me right into my face, it was beautiful. I was in my 40s, early 40s, I think. So when he said 60, I thought, 60? Oh, God. But then I think, well, okay, but would you rather be 60 and happy than 60 and not happy? But you don't have that perspective then. And, of course, I was in the middle of all sorts of strange things. But, yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah.
Rock and roll. I think I'll be giving the friendly finger. Can I get one more in? One more. That's beautiful. I know also in 96 you shot a film in Bray and Ardmore Studio, Fred Schlesinger's Sweeney Todd with Joanna Lumley.
Yes.
And that kind of triggered you into having some friends in Dublin and in Wicklow, and I know a Cork friend, a painter, moved to LA. But you're about to play, in amongst your many films coming up, you're about to play an IRA commander in Crossmaglen. And I'm wondering, given that you played Fergus and 50 Dead Men Walking, there's probably a sensitivity to those kind of roles. When you step into politics, you step into issues like that, I'm guessing it's quite difficult to find the right balance.
Yeah, it is. You've got to really present the vulnerability and the anger and the context. I mean, I believe that there is a Mahatma Gandhi and a Don Logan from Sexy Beast in all of us. It just depends what circumstance does to you to bring it out. Like the First World War destroyed George's career, turned him into a bitter, lonely man. It depends on what life throws at you, and that's what I try and put in front of the camera. Why is this man like he is? And if I have any opportunity, be it an IRA commander or a wonderful filmmaker, I love to look at why that man is what he is.
Sweet. Very nice to talk to you, sir.
And you. Lovely to